Welcome back, everyone. It's the Lawyer You Know, and today we're talking about the search warrant that was issued in connection with the fatal shooting on the movie scene of Rust. And that search warrant was issued to Alec Baldwin for his cell phone. And this is important for a number of reasons because as many of you may know, you can't just get a search warrant willy-nilly. You have to actually have probable cause in order to convince a judge that it's worth it and necessary to invade someone's privacy to this level. And the probable cause is that you are going to find evidence that a crime has taken place. So the prosecutors have presented that to a judge, at least in the amount that is necessary to get a search warrant for Alec Baldwin's cell phone. And it's interesting because when law enforcement just asked for it, Alec Baldwin, who said he's being cooperative and cooperating with law enforcement throughout this entire process, said, go get a warrant. So that's exactly what law enforcement did. And is that a big deal that he said, go get a warrant? Absolutely not. That's what he should say. That's what all of us should say if law enforcement is investigating us, especially if we've done nothing wrong. We don't want to provide anything to them unnecessarily. We also don't want to make statements that they could then use against us in the future. That's why we have these constitutional rights. But when you go out and you blast it out there on interviews, social media, everywhere you possibly can, that you're cooperating with law enforcement, you're happy to help, you want to give them everything they need, and then you say, no, go get a warrant, doesn't look good. Now, I would absolutely advise him as his criminal defense lawyer not to provide that cell phone. You can find out lots of bad stuff if you take someone's cell phone. As we learned in the John Gruden case, you go through emails, whatever it may be, especially in cancel culture. You don't just want to give that over without fighting it. But that's why you don't make the certain statements that he's made prior to. And what evidence could they have presented that there could be something on this cell phone that could connect some crime or prove some crime that happened on the scene of Rust? Well, let's think back to some of the comments Alec Baldwin made in his interview. That he spoke to people on the phone after the event. That he posted videos to his social media supporting the staff and that they need better housing quarters. The emails back and forth that he said he had with the cameraman that made some complaints about the gun safety. And then some things out of his control, like the photo with the paparazzi afterwards with him on the phone and him kind of keeled over in the desert. There's plenty to say. In today's day and age, it's obvious. People can have evidence on their cell phone of a crime, especially if they're making posts on social media saying they were calling people. But it can also be illegal to delete things off of your cell phone if you know that law enforcement's about to get it. It can be damning in a civil case and used against you in a civil case if you do that. You can violate spoliation orders and you can get certain instructions to the jury that you deleted something that could have been probative in this case. And law enforcement has programs that can go back and experts that can go back and actually retrieve things that you've deleted, which can also be damning and also can show your state of mind in a situation like this. So we don't know what they're going to find with this search warrant. We don't know if the fight's over and if he's turned over his cell phone yet. Sometimes they agree to certain parameters, like you won't go in his personal email, you won't read his text messages with anybody, including his lawyer. Obviously, that's attorney-client privilege. But you can go into social media or you can do keyword searches for Rust or shooting or the victims' names. But it's going to be really interesting now if Alec Baldwin kind of changes his tune from I'm an open book, I'm fully cooperating, to now I'm going to let my criminal defense lawyer do his job and protect me and not give law enforcement or anybody else things they can use against me. Because it's not just this search warrant, it's not just law enforcement. The armorer has now come out and responded to certain statements that Alec Baldwin made in that interview, saying she loaded 6 dummy rounds. He wasn't supposed to be cocking it back or pointing it at the camera. A lot of people wouldn't have known certain details of what happened if he wouldn't have gone out and done a recorded interview for everyone to see and everyone's lawyers to see. When lawyers get involved and they talk to their clients, they say, this is important. Did this happen? Is this true? Can you respond to this? I want you to watch this video and respond to every word he said. So that's why when that interview came out, it was so shocking to us, and I don't want to say appalling or use some, word that is inflammatory, but I was just very surprised anyone would advise him to do that. And somebody of his caliber, who I'm sure has a high caliber lawyer, would allow their client to do that. I get he's trying to get out ahead of it, get people on his side and to understand his side of the story, but we're seeing immediately the kind of damage things like that can cause. And we're seeing immediately how you look like a liar or look like you're going back on your word, like with cooperation or with using your phone or things like that, and how those words can come back to bite you, even if you didn't lie, even if you didn't do anything wrong. So let it be a lesson as we continue along with this Alec Baldwin story. And if you're interested and you learned something new today, please hit the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe to our page for more content like this. But for now, that's all we've got. Thanks for watching this episode of The Lawyer You Know. If you like this content, please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to our page and like our videos. If you want some interaction, get in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to know any more information about our firm or this page, you can find out in the description or visit tragoslaw.com. We post multiple times throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notification and not miss out on the next episode.